Thank you for having me, everybody. I'm going to be reading an excerpt from my forthcoming novel, my MFA project, and the title of the chapter is My Favorite Game. I called a guy who knows a guy and got some pills with butterflies stamped on them. I went to the clubs, and I met up with the people that I liked. I kissed a girl whose name I found out, but soon forgot. She was pretty, and her hair was brown and long, and her eyes were big, and her breasts were small. We caught a train back to Jersey and pretended that we were in love. Eventually, she rolled over and slept. But I lay in bed, watching the spinning ceiling fan round and round in the dim light, trying to see a God that I can love completely in the cycles of its spinning. I said my prayers like I always do, and I fell asleep. I woke up. My eyes were closed, but I was awake. The girl from the night before was kissing my neck, and I returned the favor in kind. These are the sorts of things that you do. Suddenly she laughed. "What's funny?" I asked, in between a few gentle nibbles and kisses to her shoulders and jawline. "I just remembered that before you went to sleep last night, you prayed." I thought she had been sleeping, and that was why I was willing to whisper my prayers aloud. "What? I always pray before I go to sleep." "Why?" she said, though I knew she didn't really care because of how her hands cradled my face in a way that was more than merely affectionate. She wanted something, and I admit that I was more than happy to give it to her. "Why?" she had said, and smiling easily I answered in verse. "I pray at night so in the morn my cross is ready to carry burdens, my love." I kissed her again, laughing at myself, and let my body rest against hers. She stopped giggling and made a sound there isn't really a word to describe. It was almost like surprise, and a little bit like hunger. "I see. So am I to be your burden this morning, Gabriel?" I answered her with my fingers. Pretending to be in love, yes, that was the game that I was best at, and the game which was my favorite to play. I think I remember telling this girl about the game while we were on the train, back when I remembered her name, but then again, maybe I was dreaming. As the train turned around the curve on its tracks through the tunnel in Camden, I said, "Let's play a game." "What kind of game?" she asked, leaning in closer like she and I were children, and I was about to ask her to play hide and seek. What I had in mind was closer to playing doctor. I remembered more details the night before, while in the present moment the girl's voice made a chorus to the symphony of the rain at my window, indistinct and undefined, formless as our bodies. I remembered the stale scent of the train and the precise angle at which her hair stood out, the blue of her eyes that matched the color of her fingernails, the size of her pupils dilated from the ecstasy, and the slur of our words from the alcohol she and I drank in equal measure. The images came back to me in flashes, quick as a gasp in lovemaking. I wasn't in control of what I remembered. She was holding my hand back then on the train. We were facing each other in the seats, and I stroked her cheek with my thumb. I remember seeing my jagged and chewed nail make a white line on her skin with a soft scratch, a scratch that may have been intentional. "Let's play pretend," I said. "Let's pretend that we're in love, and that everything is beautiful, and that nothing ever hurts, and that no one ever dies. Let's pretend that we're going to live forever, and that everything everywhere is going to be okay for everyone." I think I may have been crying a little, just enough for a tear or two to fall down my cheek. Or was it the girl who had been crying? I can't remember. Maybe we were both crying. Maybe I scratched her cheek by accident as I tried to wipe away one of her tears. "That sounds like the greatest game anyone could ever play," she said. "Don't stop," she said. "Don't stop. Wait, this isn't a memory anymore. This panting girl underneath me, the one who might have been crying on the train last night, she was there, she was present, and she was real. It'll be a memory soon, but for right now, it's happening to me." Before the nausea of being present overwhelmed me, I focused firmly on that present moment, thrusting myself into it, into her, into this pretty girl beneath me who, if I am to be completely honest with myself, was truly too beautiful for me. Yes, this is how it's done. This is how I get through the turning of the world. Destroy that which is ugly and evil, and raise up that which is beautiful and good. So I turned her over and raised her up, up and off the bed. The rain stopped tapping at the window. Only the dull hum of the ceiling fan remained, going round and round and round. The ceiling fan, and a sound of people pretending to be in love. It was the game that I was best at, and it was the game which was my favorite to play. Before we fell back asleep, she whispered in my ear, her words a caress. "This is the greatest game I've ever played," she said. Or had it been the night before? I can't be sure. I don't remember. Thank you very much.
So actually, I was